and welcome to WorkPro. My name is Tania Evans and I'm the host for today's session on NZ Ministry of Justice checks. So starting in the administrators window, there is a couple of options to administer your Ministry of Justice checks, and that is for you to send a request from the platform for the candidate to complete their MoJ, or for you to complete the MoJ on a candidate's behalf. So I'll walk through both of those scenarios in today's session. So logging into the platform, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to send a request from the platform. And there's also a couple of options here. One is to send a request to one candidate or to send a bulk request. So I'll start with the sending a request to a single candidate. And that is pretty much just entering the person's name, entering their email address, selecting background checks, selecting Ministry of Justice check, and sending the request. Once the request has been sent, you can track that request through the dashboard. You see here the candidate's name, the requesting date, and the single-use token, which I'll talk about in a moment. If the candidate hasn't completed their check in a set time period, the system will also automatically remind them that they have an outstanding task and inviting them into the platform. Moving on to showing you how to do a bulk request. So you may have a handful of people that you'd like to send a request to, or could be an entire workforce or project or group of people. So if there's only a handful of people, the first thing that you need to do is create a package in WorkPro. Once the package has been created, and I'll show you that in a moment, once the package has been created, you can simply enter the candidate's name, enter their email address, dropping down this list, choosing NZ Ministry of Justice check, adding a candidate, and then sending those requests. If you have a larger group that you need to send the request to, you'd create a CSV file outside of the WorkPro environment in one column, headed name, in the second column, entitled email, and then entering the people's name and their email addresses in both of those columns, dropping down this list, choosing New Zealand Ministry of Justice check, and uploading your CSV file here and sending the request. So once you've sent that request, the candidate will receive an email with the URL and also a single-use token and the instructions of what to do to complete their check. So that email is sent either as a single request or as a bulk request. Just want to talk about that package. In having to create a package in order to send a bulk request, you'll need to come into the platform, click Actions, click Packages, create, name your package, which in the case I just showed you was NZ Ministry of Justice check. The site, so you might have multiple sites in WorkPro, so you can just assign the site that you'd like the package to be assigned, background check, choose Ministry of Justice check, and then save your package. Okay, so that's the packages. That's also sending the request. So the candidate then logs in on any device and completes the three-step application process, which includes their personal details, uploading a copy of an identity document, an approved identity document, and also providing consent for you to complete that check with the ministry. So once the person's completed their check, you'll receive an email alert welcoming you into the dashboard to view and process that check through the ministry. So the status that you'll see here is please review. So it's ready to be processed. The first thing you do is choose the turnaround time that suits the requirement. So you may have some urgent checks that you'd like to get through. At other times you're willing to wait and you might choose that 16-day turnaround. So choosing the turnaround time and next, and now you're reviewing the consent form. So you're reviewing that consent form, checking the information's been completed correctly, the identity document, making sure that is the individual, and then the linkage of identity. So the person is expected to take a selfie as part of that process with that government ID so that you can validate they are who they say they are. Once you're comfortable with that, you can then simply submit the check. So once the cheque has been submitted, a WorkPro officer, a verification officer, will open up that cheque. They will check the application, they will check the identity document, the signature, that the application has been dated, and also that the selfie is contained that matches the government-issued identification that's been uploaded against the signature and the application form. Once that's occurred, and that can all happen within a few minutes, the cheque will be submitted to the Ministry for processing. Once the cheque has been returned, you'll receive another email alert welcoming you back into this administrator dashboard to view the result of your cheque, which is a formal document that's been provided to us by the Ministry. That concludes today's quick video walkthrough. Of course, if you have any questions, you're welcome to call us 1300 975 776. Also to email us at info@workpro.net.nz or get in touch with your account manager. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to talking to you soon.